Sporting Journal Radio, presented by Onyx.
All right. We're going to talk a little bit turkey. We're going to talk holiday weekends. We're going to talk about early ice and getting ready to do some ice fishing right now. Dan Amundsen, of course, is with us. We'll bring Dan on right there. He's in Wisconsin, deer hunting. And then also Eric Osberg is up in Otter Tail County. Eric, Thanksgiving, do you travel for Thanksgiving?
And maybe you can appreciate this. Thanksgiving I put my stamp on Thanksgiving early in our marriage. Anybody out there who's married, early in your marriage, you tend to go to like 5 Thanksgivings and 6, 7 Christmases, right? And it was early in our marriage. I said, you know what? Thanksgiving is our holiday. We're not going anywhere. If people want to come to us, great. The more the merrier. But it was, I don't know, like 6 or 7 years ago, I said, nope, we're not going to be there. We're going to do our own thing. So the not so good news is when you make that claim, then now you're in charge, right? Like now you gotta cook the bird. And
does everybody come to your house then?
Some, my immediate family does. My sister, my dad, and my nieces. And this year we had a couple of extras. But the extended family, they stay where they're at. But our immediate family, my immediate family, I had the in-laws this year. But so the question I wanted to pose to you guys is, do you brine your birds? And whether you cook Thanksgiving meals or not, I mean, do you ever even just, whether it's pheasants or any of the game that you harvest, do you brine birds, or are you for brine or against brine?
I like to brine, and a lot of that is so for ducks, geese, pheasants. Usually, after I process them, I put them right into water. Really? Sometimes it's salt water, sometimes it's just water, and then I throw them in the fridge, and I let some of that blood get pulled out of that meat. And in fact, with a Canada goose breast, I don't pluck it. I just cut the breast out, and then I trim the breast. And I actually will cut, when I clean a goose now, it doesn't even look like, for guys that have been breasting geese out, I'll have the legs cut out, I'll have the breast cut out, and then the breasts will all be basically cubed up into little chunks. And then all the silver skin that's on there, the ventricles that are in there, all of that will be trimmed out. It won't look anything like it. And then when you dump those chunks into a brine of some sort, it pulls that blood out of there so much faster, and you've got a real nice lean piece of meat there. You got a lot of that wild flavor, that gamey flavor that some people like. Goose is kind of a strong flavor. If you don't like that, you can really reduce that strength of that goose flavor in there by doing that. And then I'll throw it in tacos, or I'll slow cook it, or I'll do something different. So long story short, yeah, Eric, I'm a fan of the brines.
I'm a big brine guy too. People, and that's. I'm not saying I'm good at making Thanksgiving turkey. I'm not claiming to be good at it, but it's part of the process for me. I like to brine. And somebody asked me why do you brine it? What does that do? And I think it's interesting the reaction that salt has with protein. And so just by getting it in that salty water earlier than, not, I think it creates a juicier meat. I think it creates a more tender meat. Tendier, is that a word?
I'll sign off on it.
And I think that, and I've done this with steaks or red meat on a grill. The earlier you can get salt on meat, the earlier the cooking process starts, right? Like enzymes and proteins start interacting with that. There's a chemical reaction happening. So I don't know. I'm not a scientist. So I like brine. I'm a brine guy. So
you're doing the cooking on Thanksgiving then?
I'm in charge of the bird. I supervise the potatoes. I'm gonna mail it. I mailed it in with the stuffing. I'm a stovetop guy, right? Like I've had a lot of homemade stuffing, and no offense to anybody who prove me wrong, right? Like I've had a lot of homemade stuffing, and I really like the taste of stovetop. So So, and that's really all you need, a good bird, some mashed potatoes, some gravy, and some stuffing. And I think you got a pretty solid holiday meal there.
So after you brine it, are you putting it in the oven? You dropping it in a turkey fryer? What are you doing?
Oven. And I'm not saying this is the right way to do it. It's just the way that I've found is I cook it, on a bed. What's it called? A mirepoix. It's, there you go. It's, I create a bed of celery, onions, and carrots, and then some herbs, some rosemary, some thyme, some sage. And then, I cook it breast down for the first half, or the first, maybe even 2/3, because if you think about it, all those juices, just gravity is pulling those juices down. So if you're into so the breast is on the top normally. So if you cook it breast down, all those juices are going down into the bird. And then, of course, it doesn't look as pretty when you cook it breast down. So the last half or the last third or the last hour, you got to flip it over, and then you get it nice and golden brown, and you get that skin on it. So, 325 in the oven for however long you need to, based on the size of the bird.
Gotcha. All right. So I'm going to bring Dan in here real quick, because we had a little discussion. We were talking a little bit off the air before this about this situation, but my mom called me this year. She goes, "Hey, I got to ask you a question." Okay, it's a weird way to. That always makes you a little uneasy when you get that from mom, or from anybody for that matter. And she says, "How would you feel if we didn't have turkey for Thanksgiving this year?" I said, I like turkey, but I don't look forward to turkey and mashed potatoes necessarily, like in gravy. It's good and I'll eat it, but it's not like I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for. I look forward to Thanksgiving to get together with family and, hang out. And it's been a tradition of ours for many years. It was a tradition of ours to be spending that, Thanksgiving in the woods of Northwest Wisconsin during the gun season over there. There's still some of that tradition, but we're not having the meal there anymore. So the meal has changed, but we're still trying to get together and see family members that we haven't seen in a long time. So to me, that's what Thanksgiving's about. I was like, it doesn't matter to me. And she's like, well, what if we had lasagna? And I'm like, oh, now lasagna I get excited about. I was just jacked. I'm like, heck yeah, we're having lasagna. And I told Dan, and then he talked to his mom and dad, and then he came back to me and goes, yeah, we're not having lasagna.
You can eat lasagna every day, 363 days a year. You take Christmas and Thanksgiving out. Those are the 2 days you get to have a turkey dinner. So why eliminate? You can, but you don't. We don't. So why?
They don't sell turkey at the store the rest of the year, or
nobody's going out to cook a turkey dinner on June 14th,
because it's not that great of a meal. It's not.
How dare you?
It's all tradition. It's not like nobody sits there and goes, "Oh man, I'm gonna go cook a turkey for 6 hours today. I can't wait. This is gonna be so good."
You might need to go find a new producer.
I think Dan's onto it. I think maybe one of these days. I tell you what, I'll cook you a turkey. Brett, and we'll see if we can't change your mind.
It's good. I like wild turkey, and I like eating those giant turkey legs that you can get, or I've cooked some of my wild turkey legs, just grilled them. I think they're unbelievable. Those I look forward to, or a wild turkey breast. I'll cube it up and like a frying magic, some sort of Cajun seasoning on there, Cajun breading, and throw it in a deep fryer. I think it's unbelievable. But just oven baked turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy and stuffing, I feel like, I don't know, it doesn't do it for me.
I'm with you, Dan. I'm with Dan on this one.
Let's do this next year. Let's put some turkey. Let's make turkey lasagna.
No. You're going to have to take Eric's approach and start having your own Thanksgiving.
That's fine. I want to do that. I'm all right with it.
Brett made lasagna, right? Nobody will show up.
All right. Well, people are now looking at their radios like, why are these guys talking about lasagna, turkey lasagna? We just wasted our entire time talking about ice fishing in Otter Tail Lakes country, Eric. So we'll have to do that maybe next week or something. But if people want to learn more about Otter Tail County, whether hunting, fishing, outdoor recreation, or just finding a job there, where should they go?
They should find their inner otter at ottertaillakescountry.com.
Looking for winter adventure? Might as well pick a place with over 1,000 lakes. Otter Tail County, Minnesota is in the middle of everywhere, offers a simpler pace, and has something for everyone. Find your inner otter at ottertaillakescountry.com.